return.
Oh, my name's Fox. Today I'm at Fox. Merlin would rather travel to the future and find, the great evil and all that stuff before he even thinks about hugging his daughter. Oh, my name's Fox. Today I'm at Fox. This is episode 7. I'm technically speaking, hopefully when this comes out, this will come out on Friday, which is usually when I will watch the newest episode. I'm recording this on Thursday when the newest episode, which would be episode 8, comes out. But actually, you know what? If it comes out on the thing that I stream it on early enough, I might try to get it out quicker. But anyways, episode 7. I did not expect Merlin to be in this one. It was a cool surprise, and also the episode was because here's the thing about Danny Tarkovsky, at least like certain projects. I'm not sure about Primal because I haven't seen it, but I love that he can have sci-fi with fantasy and make it work, because that is always something that I at least try to strive to do with my own stories, is where you could have obviously one that's heavily on sci-fi but then have fantasy in it, or have this fantasy with a bit of sci-fi. Hopefully again I'll be able to get some actual stories out than Owl Wolf Town, but Owl Wolf Town's still working on it as well. But this episode they go back to Blue Legolas's home, finds out the entire place is kind of destroyed after he refused to marry a woman he didn't love because he loves Melinda, left, breaking the line. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Like, they keep saying, oh yes, the line has been broken, the bloodline has been broken. It's like, has it? Like, he just chose not to marry another elf. Like, technically speaking, shouldn't, the magic and everything still work? But then again, I guess because Blue Legolas also kind of died, but not really. Because here's the thing, elves are pretty much immortal, so Blue Legolas's body is still around. It's still there. It's like there's no soul in it. And also, apparently our heroes have been going under the idea that when the great evil is destroyed, Copernicus can pull. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know where they got this idea from, but even Merlin's like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. But apparently, how they thought happened was, you destroy the great evil, Copernicus pulls your souls out of your bodies and, locks them away until they're needed again. Turns out that is not the case. The actual thing that Merlin brings up is, no, Copernicus just kind of grabs your souls when you're done. Once you kill the great evil, drains the soul gets that your soul kind of just releases immediately, and then Copernicus kind of just holds it. And I like that too, because it leads up to kind of the twist at the end, but not really. It's kind of twist at the end. I'm like, oh, okay. But I kind of saw it coming a little bit, but also I was like, okay. But pretty much they go to Blue Legolas's home, which I actually really like too, that Blue Legolas, at least in his main body, kind of has some Samurai Jack vibes. With pull from a distance, he has the very small eyes that look like they're closed. Also, that looks like AI. I'm pretty sure this is a Lord of the Rings reference altogether here, with the Eye of Sauron kind of looking thing. But they come back, they find out the place is destroyed. The elves that Blue Legolas was supposed to marry into apparently attacked, and the forest is dying because that shiny little eye crystal up there. I'm pretty sure this has to be a Lord of the Rings reference. Eye crystal thing up there didn't like the bloodline being cut, and the East Elves stole it because yes, we will make our own bloodline, because if that's the case, okay. And also why they haven't tried this hundreds of years beforehand, because apparently it's been for a while, but whatever. So the three come back. Blue Legolas is after they're saved by the North Elves, Blue Legolas tells his brother Beowulf, or Eowulf, this man right here, that, it's me, brother. And it was like, my brother's dead. No. Only until, the magic sword flies around and starts cutting shit up. Do they actually find out, oh yeah, that is you. And pretty much locks him in chains, which also, Legolas's chains disappear and reappear and disappear and reappear many times while he's handcuffed. I'm like, man, that is very noticeable. I don't know if they didn't realize, the cuff of his jacket was supposed to be a cuff or something, but yeah, I was like, okay. But that is not a good frame to end on. But, he pretty much convinces him from that, thrown in chains. Melinda gets thrown in jail with Sen, who's piloting Copernicus's dead body. And inside this cage where there's multiple symbols, keeping magic at bay, so even, Melinda can't even use her magic in there, even though I really do love when she's fighting against the East Elves. Actually, I think this guy might have... This is the thing about you doing the episode a week later. I could probably... Nope. I gotta actually watch that Haley show. Because it actually... So far, I've seen some things of it, but I'm like, okay. Let's see. Edred. Oh yeah, this is who he's supposed to marry. Chooses to go against it. Let's see. I want to see if they show where. Okay, yeah, that's Legolas's dad who's taking the Odin sleep. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't see it in here. Oh wait, no, here it is. Okay, here it is. Melinda is like, okay, and she's getting stronger with her magic, or we're learning to use her magic more, I guess. She is straight, turning arrows into fire snakes and stuff like that. And also, funny thing too is, at one point Melinda's about to shoot magic, and Legolas goes, no, don't do that. And they go, you're Northmen, kill the Northmen. And Melinda's like, well, screw you. And she starts blowing them all up. It's great. But Melinda's, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, Melinda's magic is freaking awesome. But pretty much when thrown in jail, that's when they run into Merlin. Well, apparently, I guess after the first reincarnation or death, he's been just locked in there for hundreds of years. And also, I find it really funny that the elf for, I assume, hundreds of years. I guess not hundred. No, it would have to be hundreds. I guess, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say hundreds. For hundreds of years or so, because, but I find it funny because they had his magic staff right by the gate entrance to the cell, just there. And I'm like, all right, where are we going? A little bit of a cartoon logic, I guess. But yeah, locked in there. And apparently Merlin and everything that happened in the episode where Emma goes to the past and meets young Merlin and everything, all that actually happened like that. Because Merlin was like, oh, is that Emma? First when he sees the reflection. Or sees Melinda, seeing she looks like Emma, and also he's like, how, you're all so young. And I'm like, all I'm thinking in my head is, how young are they supposed to be? Because one, Emma was already getting married. I would hope they weren't doing, however young that would have been. But, where it's bad. But yeah, Melinda, they say all of them young. I would say Sen is the only one that looks like a kid. Everyone else, I'd assume they're, I don't know, 20s. Maybe a little, I don't know, 19 at latest, maybe. But I would say maybe 20s. But apparently, I guess it was be younger, I don't know. But, and Merlin's like, this is your fault, Melinda. You should have controlled your power and not given some of it to your mother, who then got consumed by it and got eaten and died. And one I'm thinking, I don't think she's dead. I think she's just connected with the magic and is the magic now. But also on the flip side of that, I do love when Emma brings up, like, shouldn't you have controlled it? And Merlin's like, I can't control it. That power's way beyond me. And he goes, so you're telling me the strongest wizard of all time couldn't control this magical power, and you thought a little girl could? And Merlin's like, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry, Melinda. And they looked at each other all, and Melinda's big puppy dog eyes, with Emma's big puppy dog eyes. And oh god, let me see. Is it here? I would love if it was in here. But like, apparently someone's biting. Apparently the birds are biting him. Let me see. It was before this. Damn it.
Hot.
Let me see.
He can't answer you.
You are young as well?
The bloods are all time.
Okay, it's not that one.
How have you...
This is the cell, FYI. And like, I like how you see the runes where she tries to do magic glow. But yeah, but pretty much, I love the part where like he's like, you can, Melinda or Emma goes, you can hug your daughter, like after that whole thing, after Merlin agrees that he's been an asshole this entire time, and he's like, well, we don't really do that in this family. Do you want to hug Melinda? And Melinda's like, and I'm just like, how can you not want to hug that adorable face? Melinda is one of the most adorablest, like, character designs. And it's Betty Boo, so pretty much. But one of the most adorablest, like, designs. I'm like, yes. Like, if there was ever a body she was possessing that was the most huggable, it's this one. It is this one. And also on the same note of that, too, Merlin reminds me, kind of looks like Yen Sid, which I'm guessing is kind of what they were going for. Again, Yen Sid was probably based off of Merlin, too, but, whatever. But, and then Sen appears on the opposite side of the gate, and they're like, and before Merlin could give her a hug, like, Sen, oh, thank goodness, a segue. Sen gets out of the cage because they thought, they trapped him all, and it turns out Sen can't be trapped. Fights the bad guys, uses, with a whole right hook, left hook maneuvers. Puts the key, unlocks it. Merlin looks through Sen's eyes, sees that these two are in trouble. These two are in trouble because of two things, which I completely missed. Blue Legolas' sword got its magic pulled out by the guy who made it, because the ogre or troll, I guess, who lives in the forest, who made it, has control over it, and said, I'm taking the sword back. And and Blue Legolas is like, what? No, why? Like, you made it for me, it's mine. The man's like, yeah, I was told by your ancestors and the king that I make you a sword for you to rule. You are not ruling, therefore I can take the sword back. And then Blue Legolas goes, but you still made it for me. And that is against what the elders said. So if you take it away, you have to go back home. And like, I can't go back with my mom and dad. Fine. Here's your sword, but I'm taking the magic. And he's like, what? And pretty much he has to reforge the broken line of kings with the crystal, and the magic would come back to his sword, which pretty much is an easy way to depower him, so we could have Sen without the magic, which him and his brother pretty much use, without the magic, so they bust into the thing, find a necromancer who then summons spooky, scary skeletons, and pretty much this guy, Beowulf, gets attacked by getting put in one of the skull heads and shaken up like a drink, and nearly falls out. And when Melinda has to come, appears and save his ass, he nearly falls drunkenly out of the head, which Melinda had to catch. They eventually, Merlin versus like this witch doctor, shaman, necromancer, sends her away. Like, nope. Destroys her spooky, scary skeleton. Other spooky, scary skeleton. And pretty much we kind of end around here.
Is to merely collect
where Merlin brings up how this works.
them and keep them safe.
The soul after the evil being destroyed.
But then,
The evil.
It is still out there.
Precisely.
No, no, no. Not again, brother. No, I won't leave. I will not break my vow.
Then we will face the evil without you.
No.
So you'll leave.
No.
So you're staying?
No.
And I'm guessing this is where he got the idea. Where suddenly, again, pretty much just so Merlin says it.
Souls are released from their hosts, and Copernicus's job is to merely collect them and keep them safe.
So Copernicus cannot take souls out of bodies. He can only collect souls from bodies. I guess, does that mean then that this guy did kill himself, I guess? But anyways, yeah, so supposedly the brother's dead, gave his life trying to get the crystal back, and then with that, Blue Legolas vows that he will return to his original body and, go home and be king. And Copernicus suddenly hits him and sucks out his soul. To then put it back in his original body. Supposedly. How serious he looks. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I love that Blue Legolas isn't that serious as like this his body looks or makes him out to be. Because this motherfucker, I love Melinda. Melinda's my favorite character, but I feel like people are learning how to write side characters better, or maybe I'm just more focusing on side characters. I don't know. But I feel like side characters are being written way more better, which, if you didn't think I was going to bring up the Owl House, but, in the Owl House, you have Willow and Gus, which are two characters I'm first season one and I'm pretty sure two, I kind of just wrote off. I was like, okay, fine. Season one, I definitely just wrote off. Okay, side characters, not really that important. They're the friends. But making them one of the actual most powerful witches in the group added a little bit more intrigue for me, as well as some other stuff along those lines. Edric is kind of like that. Not only because obviously he has he's not just the sword guy, he's a magic sword guy, but also he shows emotion so much. It's great. There's so many times you just see him real sad with around Melinda, or when he was retelling when he left his wedding to be with Melinda, and when Melinda remembers, then you see her face blush a little bit. He's like, "You remembered," and he looks so happy, and she's like, "No," and then he gets sad again. Or when he explains how he's gonna to Melinda, who's still behind the gate, that he's going to stay here as king, and Melinda's like, "Wait, no, you can't do that." He's like, "I must," and then he walks away all stoked, and he goes, "She cares." I'm like, God, oh my God, he is the reverse Ronaldo. He is the reverse Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is a character. If you don't know this from me yet, and from Steven Universe Ronaldo, if you don't know about me about this, I hate that character. And I'm pretty sure that's probably the point of that character. I hate that character to high heaven. He's probably the worst character I freaking hate. And mind you, I'm putting up against characters like Bellows and other villains who have done horrible, horrible shit. He is one of the most ignorant, assholic, I just hate his ass character. And again, Bellows wanted to genocide an entire thing because they weren't the right race. So, I don't know if that's good or not. Like, no, like, I hate Ronaldo. I hate Ronaldo. Like, every time, like, I think, like, okay, maybe something, it makes more, like, and I think it's even to the point where, like, it's probably because even Bellows, you could probably still write a really good story with him being evil. This is just, like, I hate Ronaldo to the point where, like, I just hate him. Every scene he's in makes me, just digs the hole a little bit more of, I hate his character. It's a very smart idea, though, what they did with him, because they made me hate him so much that I really didn't pay damn attention that he was literally spoilering the entire show. So, in a way, very genius writing on that part. But on the flip side of that, I still hate the shit out of him. And, like, even when they try to give him, like, a character, like, where we try to make him feel sad, I'm like, I don't give two shits about this character. If you don't even try to make me like him, that's stupid. Blue Legolas is the exact opposite. Every scene he's in makes me love him more. To his expressions of him being sad, how much you see that he is very much in love with Melinda. And where, like, it feels like an actual love with Melinda. Like, I don't really know about Winston or whatever, how that feels, but I don't know, it just feels off, I guess, when he says he loves Emma, and I don't know, it just feels like, oh, boy crush, and that's kind of it, and I feel like he's immediately gonna go somewhere else afterward at some point. It's like, somebody's just gonna, screw it. Blue Legolas, I think, would like, no, I love my love, I'm sticking with her. And like every scene he's in, especially with like stuff like, you know, when he's embarrassed for Melinda, so he cuts off the junk of all those stone people. Or like, you know, again, like the bit where, you know, he's real sad every time with Melinda, or trying to, you know, just, or even like he was planning to come back here after everything to try to help Copernicus and stuff because he knew Melinda, you know, it's, Blue Legolas is really awesome. I love him. Like, every scene he's in, he just becomes more and more cooler and more of a lovable, likable character. And I love that. Sen is pretty much just, okay, fun. Like, he's a fun character. If you like him, you probably just like him because, oh yeah, you know, he's the fun guy kind of character. He's kind of silly and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Blue Legolas, you like him because he's dedicated to Melinda. He loves this girl. And, like, he's like, if there was one, he's a badass mother who has that, like, childishness towards Melinda. Melinda is the biggest chink in his armor, and he wears that on his sleeve, like, pretty much proudly, and I love that. I love that so much. I love Melinda so much because of, obviously, you know, the, you know, new kind of thing to learning the magic, but also, like, her powers and, like, stuff. I love Melinda and art style alone. I love Blue Legolas' personality. I love, like, everything about him. He's kind of Blue Samurai Jack. He's kind of Elf Samurai Jack. And it's not a bad thing. It's honestly not. And I legit, like, he's a character I legit feel like if we ever get him to the point where Jack was in, like, the final season, where he's just gruff, like, I don't give a shit kind of, like, character, I feel like Legolas would beat everything. Hell, I bet if Melinda gets in, like, actual trouble, like, yeah, we've seen her get in trouble for him, you know, he's like, you know, she has to figure it out on her own. If she ever is actually in danger where she can't get out of it, I'm pretty sure Blue Legolas would come in and, like, he would go berserk. I love that. But in any case, damn, Wizard ditched us. But yeah, Blue Legolas is back and bestows the sword onto them. But it turns out,
Stop now.
It worked!
no, the brother gave his life so that, and pretty much Copernicus, you know, absorbed his soul and put it into his body. Which I guess just proves that, like, Copernicus actually just put them into any bodies, really, apparently. But put it into that body, and boom. now Beowulf or whatever is king. The Unchained Lion is broken technically, I guess, because the blood, even though the would have still should have been broken by when he touched it with this body, but whatever, magic. I guess it goes really by soul, but yeah, and then pretty much now our heroes know that the evil is still out there. But, and also Blue Legolas is pretty much giving up, like saying, like, yeah, no, I can never come back home. I can never do that. Which, I'm sure as long as he's with Melinda and his friends, he's pretty much getting. And also, he's probably gonna be doing this for all time if they don't get permanent bodies or whatever. But anyways, but then Merlin's like, oh yes, there's something weird going on. I'll check it out in the future, and disappears.
Yes,
you see right here.
I need to tend to that question. I will return.
Wait, what?
Just leaves them, and that's where we left off. This episode was great. Sen very much is the cartooniest one, where he just fights the elves like, poof, 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 just like a left hook, right hook, left hook. But you guys are terrible, terrible knights. But it was cool. Again, like the fantasy setting of this one. Copernicus is back, which is great. We get a little bit more Melinda and Blue Legolas and Sen. I guess we've had episodes with Melinda and Blue Legolas, so I guess Sen has to be the next one we get a story on, right? To learn a little bit more about him. But the thing is, I don't know how much of Sen's original personality is in this one. Then again, I'm not entirely sure how much of Blue Legolas' personality is, because he looks serious stuff in the other ones, but I feel like this is still him, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure where the cutoff is of what is them and what is their host. But because like his silly ass, which I'm not even sure his main body, his original stuff would be too interesting. But again, who knows? But anyway, I want to know. I want to know more about it. I'm sure we're gonna get a Copernicus episode too at some point. But this episode was great. I liked it. Next episode hopefully will come out soon. But thanks for watching. Share videos. I don't links for my Facebook. Share videos. This was just a good episode, and I liked seeing more of the backstory a little bit for these characters. And the next one probably might be Sen. Maybe there is some bigger stuff with Sen I actually want to know. But thanks for watching. Share videos. Hopefully enjoy this, and we will see you later. I keep looking down at like these overly sarcastic production pins. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just really cool because I like the designs for like the different gods. And I gotta find the other ones. I still have the other ones. And I just don't know where the hell they are. Completely off topic, but we know.
I will return.